Listen up guys, I'm shocked with the latest news regarding Evergrande. Evergrande did it again. They had a close escape from a pending payment, which was the third defaulted one in a row. I'm going to share with you today some spicy details about the property giant who is tiptoeing into a crash. The recurring defaults and payments of Evergrande is pointing fingers at a truly messed up situation. In today's video, I'm gonna tell you what this means to China, other developers and the outsiders. Evergrande has done another payment which was overdue by November 11th. The payment which had to be done on October 11th was deferred by the company. The 30 days grace period for this US dollar bond payment was ending on November 11th and the company has miraculously covered the payment at the very last minute. This was a payment of 148 million US dollars. This seems to be the trend for Evergrande these days. The property developer is walking on the edge in terms of their payments. With a cash crunch, Evergrande has been delaying the payments from last month. Few days back, news has been coming out regarding their previous two payments. Evergrande has made last-minute payments twice before this third one, evoking fear and anxiety among investors and the developers in the real estate market. Many had apprehensions about the authenticity of these news. The speculations were that maybe the payment news are just made-up news that Evergrande rolls out just to clear the air for now. However, as per the Bloomberg News, the customers of the international clearing firm Clearstream has confirmed that they received their payments. Also, if the news were not true, by now offshore investors would have come forward exposing the company. None of these happened means all the three payments had actually gone through. But the questions still remain unanswered. What's going on? How is Evergrande making these payments? The sources of these quick funds are not yet revealed by Evergrande. As we all know, the property developer is cash strapped. There is no enough liquid cash to cover the construction works that they have already taken up. In many of their work sites, the building works are halted as of now. Evergrande's bank accounts are under close supervision of the Chinese government, so they can't redirect the available funds which has to be used to finish the ongoing projects to pay the dollar bonds. Then how is this company managing to pay millions of dollars in these stressed times? Well, there is absolute ambiguity in this area. However, few days back, Evergrande had actually managed to raise some funds. The developer raised around 144 million by selling some of its stake in an internet company, Hengton Network Groups. The stock exchange filings show that the company has sold a 5.7% stake in three separate transactions. This deal has reduced Evergrande's stake in Hengton Network. It has fallen from 26.55% to just 20.82%. The deal with Hengton was a breather for the company, as another deal with Option Development didn't make it through in the last month as planned. The deal was for $2.6 billion, which did not happen because of some differences in agreement conditions. Well, Option Development is ready to revoke the deal anytime if Evergrande is ready to go with their terms and conditions. So it will be too soon to say what might happen there. Now the real question is, what does these payments mean? Evergrande has a looming debt of $300 billion on its account. Out of this, 19 billions are dollar bonds. The crisis the company is going through now has hammered investor sentiments to a great extent. Their offshore bonds are in the market at big discounts. The future does not look good for the property giant. The last minute payments do not mean that the company is surviving or making any kind of progress. There are a lot more payments coming up and Evergrande has not found any permanent solution for the crisis they have in their hand. They are just buying time with delayed payments. And mind this, the problem is not just for Evergrande. All the property developers in China are debt-ridden and are following the same suit as Evergrande. Recently, the company announced that they have delivered over 57,000 properties to their customers between July and October. This was supposed to increase the investor confidence in the company. We can't say for sure if this news has had any impact on the buyers or the investors in general. Evergrande is still immersed in debt and there are a lot of unanswered questions about the fundamentals of the property developer. With Evergrande losing its stand and other developers having a tough time, the Chinese government is relaxing some of their rules. It is reported that bank lending rules are getting relaxed, which will make it easier for the property developers to raise some cash. CCP had come up with some strict rules to curb the debt frenzy of private sector companies last year. They defined three red lines for the firms. One is regarding the liability to asset ratio. This should be less than 70% or the firm has crossed one red line. The next one is the net gearing ratio, which should be less than 100% or else another red line is considered crossed. The last one is for the cash to short-term debt ratio to be more than 1x, or else the third red line is crossed. The firms which had no red lines can borrow 15% more debt per year. The firms with one red line can take 10% more debt, and those with two red lines can take only 5% of debt, and those with three red lines cannot take any more debt unless they correct their financials and get out of the red lines. Now guess what? Many of the real estate property giants have had three red lines, including Evergrande. That means they cannot take any more debt to cover whatever issue is going on with their financials now. CCP wanted the real estate sector to correct itself with these stringent rules. Meanwhile, what actually seems to be happening is that the whole of the sector is affected, and the situation is in fact going to affect the next quarter GDP of China. The rules were supposed to be implemented on companies across sectors. However, like a genie out of the bottle, the real estate sector has come out as the most debt-driven industry. There is no turning back now. Either the developers need to resolve this or they all have to just simply shut down. The CCP wants it that way. They are not going to allow the real estate sector to continue the way it is by giving any more kind of help. They want this cleared with this big crash or economic slowdown or whatever it costs. Almost all the developers are running with a balance sheet with more debt than assets. Evergrande has coupon payments of more than 225 million US dollars due on December 28. It is completely unsure whether Evergrande would be able to make this one though. Another giant real estate developer, Kaiser Group, is in the spotlight from last few days. Kaiser has the most offshore debt after Evergrande. It has already missed some coupon payments at home, and there are few coming up which are over 59 million. In a recent meeting, Kaiser requested time and patience from the investors as they are going through some more crunch. They said this at a meeting with the Development Research Center of the State Council, other developers and lenders in the southern Chinese city of Shenzhen. Kaiser also urged state companies to help the private firms through project acquisitions and strategic purchases. So guys, now you might have got the point that the crisis is bigger than some Evergrande payment drama. In the last month, many other developers have defaulted, like Fantasia Holdings, Modern Land, and Cynic Holdings. And just recently, another builder, Yango Group, offered to exchange US dollar bonds for new notes personally guaranteed by its chairman, because they are struggling to free up cash for upcoming debt payments. In general, the China real estate developers are in financial distress. And it is not going to end with some defaults. As more developers default, the offshore and onshore creditors are going to struggle. Banks will get into money crunch. We are talking about millions of dollars here. Hundreds of banking and non-banking financial institutions are seriously tied up with these developers. The whole economy can come to a standstill. And recently, US Federal Reserve has commented their concerns over the debt crisis happening in the Chinese real estate sector. The latest report by Fed on financial stability stresses on this issue. This implicates the global concern on the situation. China's wobbly GDP can affect the US financial system as well. Now guys, if you want to understand how Federal Reserve can crash the stock market in the mid of next year, then jump on this video.